Don't do this at home.
Love it.
All right, so now we're going to give him the A.
It's funny when I don't have them in at home after I've eaten.
Yeah.
I notice my tongue tends to like to go forward by itself now.
Yeah, it's trained. And I saw you in the hall, and you were telling me that as soon as you're without anything, you notice your posture starts crashing down.
Well, after a while, I get a little cranky.
Cranky? My wife says, you're mad. To me.
Well, it feels I feel distressed.
Yeah, it's adrenaline building up.
Well, it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Hey.
We're recording.
Yeah.
But sometimes after I've eaten, it's just me at home and I'm on the computer and I'm nice and relaxed. And I can go without it, and it's not distressing. Yeah. And it's pleasant.
So literally, you're coming along to the point where you've got periods where you can go without.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's great.
But sometimes, when I don't talk, if I'm just like on the computer, I'm just by myself for hours, and I'll start to talk, or I'll find a video, and I'll start to get interested in it, or, I'll start to sing or something. The voice is like, I'm like, wow, I'm cured. Yeah. And,
well, you literally are in process. Yeah.
Yeah.
That now puts your upper in, because I find he likes his upper.
I love the upper.
And you were telling me why you like the upper.
Well, when I was getting this shape made, they were just discovering that uppers were an essential part, not just lowers, not just moving the tongue up and out, but giving the tongue a place to kind of go to.
Right.
So, here's the thing. When my first tongue didn't have my mouth, my voice sounds fantastic. Right. I can perhaps owing to some cartoon voices. There's not a lot of articulation. So, important side note. Yes. For 50 years, I was performing and vocal and very, oral. And I'm pretty convinced that my anatomy helped shape my career.
Isn't that amazing?
Because
you just made a very profound statement there.
My need to kind of keep things moving.
Right, keep alive.
Had something to do with my interest. It's not true for everybody, of course, but in my case,
I'm not sure.
That's how it worked.
Yeah, maybe true everybody.
Don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's what we're finding.
Yeah. I mean, not all actors have, you know what I mean? Not all voice people have.
This weekend, a guy that's a reenactor told me that there's actually a book about when you're in the public's view and that adrenaline comes up. Singers and actors have learned through certain exercises to get control better of that adrenaline. And so, there's stuff out there. All right, let's see.
Okay, so. Well, that's really nice.
Oh, gosh.
That's really.
And that's just the upper.
Here's the other part. After having to gasp and work it to survive for all these years.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, come on in.
Is there anybody else out there? You're on. Yeah. Poor Josh. He's trying to.
After having to mouth a lot, to talk a lot, to breathe sufficiently, the chance these days to just breathe and not have to talk, I have found to be unnervingly and delightfully pleasant. Just by itself. My whole orientation, everything I've arranged in my life and the future I've imagined and all that stuff, it's changing.
That is really amazing, because what I heard is how the labor and the work that you went through before just to breathe, and the effort now is, what I'm hearing you say is not effortless, but almost so. I mean, to the point where you don't recognize it as such.
Well, I'm a new person.
You are. I mean, I really believe even your DNA is changing.
That's a different office.
So who do we bill?
Exactly.
The other guy? All right, so now, are you comfortable that he could try that in and see that Jesse just took this from the lab and indexed it where we built that up.
See what happens. Just for comparison, me attempting to make it happen.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nice bottom sounds. They're not always there.
Right.
But they seem a little bit fast.
They're retrievable. Maybe that's the word.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Because with this, I'm also learning how to breathe.
Right. Are you breathing from your diaphragm?
Years.
Down low?
I was never ever trained, and I've never been trained, but I'm such a natural.
Right.
And so, in the years since, I've had to discover that I didn't know how to breathe, and I've been breathing a lot, and really naturally, and learning how to breathe.
Wow.
For performance.
Yeah. Whew, what a testimony. Well, our prayer is that someone will be able to see this and that is struggling or knows a friend that will and be able to profit from this without, I know you've been blessed in so many ways, but that was a real scary period of time when that was gone and it looked like it was lost forever.
Well, it wasn't just voice, which, I can get by usually just not talking at all. People seem to understand me pretty well. But, I had posture problems, and I was having back problems, and feet, toes, and leg problems, and I was having, coping problems, and it was very, almost maddening. And I thought, 5 hours of sleep, and it was normal, and then having dreams about death was normal, and being suicidal in my thoughts was normal, and the recommendation to me was to come learn about this, to come discover what this was about. I was like, yeah. And finally I saw, perhaps it took me a few years to kind of go from you're crazy to let's try it.
Right. And it's not here. It's right there. In the
And during those few years, you continued to gradually lose a little more ground.
Well, I would lose ground, but I worked with many other highly trained, well-meaning specialists who tried all kinds of different things, attempting to fix this symptom or that thing, and it was not heading in the right direction.
Wow.
There were surgeries thought about.
Yeah. Praise God you didn't have that.
And I love chiropractic, but all kinds of, things that were interesting to a point and helped to a point. But they did not deal with, as I've discovered, the source of things.
Yeah,
they dealt with the symptom of things, and perhaps very well. But, it didn't come at a cost. Time, money, wondering.
Yeah, because it really was, if it wasn't getting you where you were going, you're wondering, how long do I continue this, or do I abandon that for the next little?
Well, I had a whole set of possible, next steps.
Yeah, A, B, C, D.
Oh, it's a lot.
Well, praise God you came.